Hi, my name is Prumihimo. Welcome to the Prumihimo channel. Now, my aim is to show people what is possible with Kumihimo. It's a wonderful ancient art, but in recent years, contemporary jewellery makers have taken it to their hearts and are really starting to explore the potential. So that's really my aim, to help people to do that. This video might be a little bit of a departure from what people expect from Kumihimo, because what I'm going to show you here is how to embellish a braid after you've braided it with other threads or ribbon. Now, you might say, why do that? Why not just braid the ribbon in or the extra thread in? And of course, you can do that. But to achieve a different effect, you can add the embellishment afterwards. So that's a design idea. But there are other reasons. You might want to use something that's very delicate, that won't stand up to being pulled in and out of the slots of a disc. Or you might wish to use something that's very expensive, like a very delicate silk ribbon or something. And if you've done much Kumihimo, you will know that Kumihimo is very, very hungry in the way it uses up its cords and ribbons. So this really is just all about trying something different to extend your skills. The starting point is going to be the Prumihimo disc, my own invention. And the reason for that is it produces a braid with straight lines, which gives us our anchor points for that additional thread or ribbon embellishment. If you want to know more about the Prumihimo disc, do go to my website where you'll be able to find my book, The Prumihimo Disc, which will tell you everything you need to know about how to get the most out of your Prumihimo disc. I'm going to show you these designs in a little bit more detail in a moment. With this effect, I've made a bracelet here that I've embellished with some gold cord thread, and here I've made a necklace using ribbon. In my videos, I don't show people how to do the endings when I'm showing a design, because I have other videos to show that. I have a video on the glued method and the wired method. But in addition to that, I do now have this great book, Kumihimo Endings, which I have packed full of all the techniques that have worked for me over the years. So it's very, very comprehensive, gives you lots of creative ideas and shows you all sorts of alternative ways of finishing off your Kumihimo. So do look for that. That's also available on my website, prumihimo.com, and you'll find a link to it if you look in the information below this video. So this is a close-up of a bracelet I've made using this technique. And I've started by making the braid in black, and then I've added this thread embellishment. And I've just added it, as you can see, to the outside of the bracelet because I didn't really want it on the inside here, because this is quite an expensive metallic thread that is a tiny bit scratchy. So I wouldn't want it against my wrist there. I want it just as embellishment. So now I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of the Prumihimo braid. Now you're going to have to excuse the state of my disc here. It is a bit of a dirty old looking disc, but it has seen a lot of good service. And the reason I'm using this old one is that for this design I'm using quite a thick cord. This is a 3mm cord. But for this technique you can use any sort of cord you want. And the braiding structure on this braid is very straightforward, and I do have full videos showing how to do it. So I'm just going to do one sequence of moves to remind you. And quite simply, we start at number 1 and we do top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. Then I follow the arrow round, so I have number 2 at the top, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. Now I follow round to number 3, same moves, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across, and number 4, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. That concludes the sequence, so I turn on round, so I have number 1 at the top, and I start again. Now, for this technique, you will get the best effect if you do, as I have, with your thicker cords and your thinner cords the same colour. But this does make it difficult for me to show you how to do this. So, here I'm producing a nice plain black braid, but now I'm just going to show you how to do this technique by using this braid where I've used a fluorescent orange as the thin cord so I can see where those stitches are. Now, as I said, I recommend that you use the same colour for both cords, thick and thin. To identify where the cords are, just make sure you're using a really good light. What you need to do is identify where to put your needle. I'm using a darning needle here, which is not too sharp. So that's ideal. And the thickness of needle really depends on what you're going to thread through. So you'll need something like a darning needle if you're using ribbon. And what you need to do is slip your needle under these stitches. So if you see the thick cord, I've got a lump there and a lump there and a lump there. So I'm going to slide my needle under the thinner cord like that. And I can see I've just caught up a little bit. There we go, that's better. So that is what you're aiming for. You're aiming to get your needle under that thinner cord. And with a good light, you'll find that perfectly easy. So now I'm going to revert to my black sample to show you exactly what I'm doing. And this is how I've got on so far with this. I've quite simply started sewing my ribbon under that cord each time in the same direction. So just leave a little tail at the end. And so from this direction, I'm just going to find that thin cord, slide my needle under it, and pull the ribbon through. And then what you need to do, at this point, you do need to just make sure you're happy with the way it's sitting. Yep, I like that. So now I'm going to bring my needle down and go again in the same direction under the next cord. And if I was using thread, it would be exactly the same system as that. So again, just using that thin cord as my anchor point. Sometimes the ribbon can get a little bit twisted, so every now and then you can just straighten it out. And then you just continue in the same way. And I'm just going to pull that one up, fluff it up a bit. And I'm just going to just pull that one a little bit. So you can adjust them as you go along. There we go, till you're happy with them. And again, from the same direction from underneath. There we go. And so you continue right to the end. And then you would finish off your bracelet in just the same way that you would any other. You can just attach the ends to the end of the braid with glue. And of course, this will all be covered by your end caps. And you can use the glued method or the wired method, as I've got videos for, or one of the other methods in my book. So I just wanted to take you through this example and explain how I made this. So this rather lively necklace is made in exactly the same way that I showed you, and I've just used a thin organza ribbon, and I used 3 different colours just on the 3 sides of the braid, leaving the underside free. And what I did was I just took the embellishment part way around the necklace rather, and then off centre at the front, I quite simply tied them in a bow, which I think gives a really pretty effect. And the finishing of the necklace is actually one of the examples from my book where I show how to make your own clasp. So this is an idea that you can use in many different ways. You could take it all the way around. You could have bows coming out in different places. But basically, it's an idea you can have lots of fun with. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope most of all that it's made you realise just how versatile Kumihimo can be and how you can try all sorts of different techniques. And I've shown you how to use decorative threads or ribbon, but don't stop there. Wires, cords of beads. You're only limited by your imagination, and I hope that this has given you ideas. So don't forget, if you want to find more creative ideas, subscribe to my channel, because that's how I know that you're enjoying the videos, but most of all, you will be notified when I have new videos. So until next time, bye!